What is the nature of reality? What is God? Although there are 6 major schools of thought on Vedanta, in this session, we will discuss the 3 major ones. We will cover the others in the next session: Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Dvaita Vedanta. These paths were illuminated by 3 brilliant minds: Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and Madhvacharya. Though all 3 drew from the same scriptures, the Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutras, but they arrived at strikingly different conclusions. Let us walk through each of these paths. Advaita Vedanta, non-dualism. Adi Shankara was the first great acharya or philosopher who systematically studied Vedic texts. According to him, Brahman or pure consciousness is the only ultimate reality. Everything else, including the world, our sense of individuality, even the gods we worship, is a product of Maya. It is Brahman's interior energy which covers or reveals it. Shankara describes 3 levels of reality. Pratibhasika, illusory, like mistaking a rope for a snake. It is what appears to us as a phenomenon. Vyavaharika, empirical, the everyday world where things follow certain laws and principles. Paramarthika, the absolute, where only Brahman exists. The self, Jiva, appears separate because of ignorance, but in truth, it is identical to Brahman. When this ignorance, avidya, is removed through knowledge, the illusion dissolves. Liberation for Shankara isn't something that happens after death. It's possible here and now. This is called Jivan Mukti, meaning that you could taste liberation while being alive. In fact, this school of thought proposes liberation as your spiritual right. He draws support from Upanishadic declarations like Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, and Tattvamasi, you are that. These suggest that our true identity is not individual, but cosmic. But Advaita faces robust criticism after downstream evolution of the idea. It was dry and too intellectual for local saints who were devotee of God and would want to worship personal God. If everything is Brahman, who do you pray to? A deeper risk lies in the subtle trap of spiritual ego. When misunderstood, the phrase I am God can inflate a grandeur sense of self, even more dangerous than material arrogance. Ramanuja, born in a world steeped in temple traditions and devotional poetry, could not accept Shankara's formless, impersonal God. To him, God was not a blank consciousness, but a personal being full of compassion, love, and divine attributes. Ramanuja proposed Vishishtadvaita, also known as the qualified non-dualism. Here too, Brahman is the ultimate reality, but with qualities, Sagana. The soul and the world are real, and they are parts of God, not illusions. The world is the body, and God is the indwelling soul. The relationship is like part and whole, subsidiary and primary, controlled and controller. God in this system is Narayana or Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Liberation is achieved through bhakti, devotion, and sharanagati, complete surrender. Ramanuja focuses on verses that emphasize God as the inner controller, Antaryami. And bhakti is not just a means to God, but also an end in itself. It is an integral part of the individual's relationship with the divine. Bhakti as a path to liberation, he also cites the Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna surrenders completely to Krishna. Dvaita Vedanta. Madhvacharya looked at both Shankara and Ramanuja and said, "You're both blurring the lines." To Madhva, difference is real, eternal, and sacred. He proposed Dvaita or dualism, establishing a clear line between Atma and Paramatma. According to him, 3 entities are eternal and real: Ishvara, the supreme being; Vishnu, Jiva, the individual soul; Jagat, the world. But unlike Ramanuja, Madhva insisted that no 2 souls are alike. Just like the fire is covered with smoke, the individual is entangled by his karmas and environment surrounding him. Some are destined for liberation, some for endless rebirth, and some for eternal damnation. Ishvara alone is independent, Svatantra. Jivas and Jagat are dependent, Paratantra. Jiva as part and parcel of God, who is also situated in the heart of all living beings in the form of Paramatma, also known as Antaryami. This remarkable transformation in Vedantic thought that combines stream of devotion with the stream of philosophical inquiry brought back a powerful sense of theistic devotion and cosmic hierarchy. But Madhva could not deny experience. It is the foundation of the reality. Philosophy is secondary, experience is primary. And the experience says that you are not God but a part of her. In Dvaita, liberation is not union. It is eternal service to God, with one's individuality fully intact. That's why a bhakta says, I want to serve God rather than achieving dry liberation. However, this framework also opens space for superstition and subjective mystical claims. Personal visions or experiences of God, if not carefully examined, can lead to dogma or blind belief. Shared roots, divergent visions, despite their vast differences, these three philosophies share something profound. They all accept the Vedas, Upanishads, Gita, and Brahma Sutras. They all aim for moksha, freedom from rebirth and suffering. They all emphasize inner transformation, whether through knowledge, surrender, or devotion. They are not enemies. They are three languages for the same mystery. Strengths and shadows. Advaita offers clarity, logic, and deep resonance with modern science. It explains illusion, selfhood, and consciousness in ways that still feel ahead of its time, but it risks becoming detached, ignoring the emotional and devotional needs of the soul. Worse, when misinterpreted, it may lead to a spiritual ego, an identity inflated by the claim, I am Brahman. Vishishtadvaita brings warmth, relationship, and surrender. It honors individuality while preserving unity. Dvaita is clear, firm, and deeply devotional. It maintains a God who is not just personal but majestic and sovereign. But its insistence on eternal distinctions can feel harsh, and it may give rise to superstitious or mystical assertions that lack philosophical scrutiny. One flame, many lamps. So where does this leave us? If you long to dissolve into pure being, Shankara may guide you. If your heart aches to love and be loved, Ramanuja opens his arms. If you bow before a majestic God, Madhva shows you how to serve. But maybe you don't have to choose. Maybe truth is not a single mountain, but a vast sky. So think like Shankara, love like Ramanuja, and serve like Madhva. And perhaps you won't just understand Vedanta, you'll become it.